As per Wikipedia, in statistics and probability theory, the median is the value separating the higher half from the lower half of a data sample, a population, or a probability distribution. That means whatever the sample you have been given, whatever the data you have been given, median is a value which separates higher half from the lower half, or the vice versa. Okay, let's try to understand what are the properties of it. Given a list of numbers, let's say you have been given a list of 5 numbers, right? The first point is it's the middle point in given population. Let's try to see if that's correct. So middle point is 43. Is that correct? That will be clear in the next point. Next point says the middle point separates the list in higher half and lower half. That means whatever the middle point we have identified, that should separate the population in lower half and higher half. Okay, so if you look at the right side, this is 37 and 25. If you look at left side, this is 34 and 32. So it's a mix of both of these two. It does not satisfy to the second point. So what is the solution? For that, we first need to sort the data and then find the middle point. Now if you see, at the right side of the middle point you have higher values, and at the left side of the middle point you have lower values. Now this second point is satisfies. So how can we say this? Whatever given population is, first you sort the values and then you find the middle point. It is also the 50th percentile of given population. Whatever population you have been given, it is also the 50th percentile of that given population. If you don't understand what percentile is, I have a separate video, link is given in the description and it's showing over here. You can just check that out. Now this is very simple to find when you have been given odd number of elements, right? If you see here, you have 5 elements, which is odd. What if you haven't given even number of elements? Then in that case, you need to find the 2 values in center. Here we found 32 and 34, and then sum them up together. So we get 66, and then you divide them by 2, means we are trying to take average of 2 values which are at the center, and then whatever you get is the median of given population. So when you have even number of elements in given population, what you're going to do is you find these 2 values at center and take an average of that. That's going to be the median of given population. Not necessarily that particular value will be present in the given data set. So this is something when you have small amount of data, small number of points in the given data, that then you can do it very easily. What if you have been given huge amount of data? Let's take another example. So here we have 2 segments. One is odd number of elements and the other one is even number of elements. Okay, before we jump to the huge amount of data, let's try to summarize what we just learned at the previous slide. So in case of odd number of elements, what we're gonna do is, first we need to sort the data. So here if you see, the data is sorted. Second thing, if you have odd number of elements, you just find the value at center. That's it, you got the median. But when you have even number of elements, you just need to find the 2 values at center, sum them up, then divide them by 2, and then whatever you get is the median. Exactly. Now let's see when you have huge amount of data. In that case, let's divide it again into segment. One is when you have odd number of elements in huge data, and then the other one is when you have even number of elements in the huge given data. First thing which you're gonna do is sort the numbers in both of the cases, and then here the numbers are sorted, and then second thing which you're gonna do is take count of numbers in both of the cases. So here if you see, we have odd number of elements which are 101, and here we have even number of elements which are 100. Now For now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on only one segment, which is odd number of elements. We will look at this second section in some time. Once you get the count of elements, just add 1 to that count. Then whatever you get is 102 in this example. Then whatever value you get after summing them up, you just divide that by 2, right? So whatever value we get after dividing it, we need to find a value at that particular position in the given population. That means here we got 51. Now we need to go back to the data, and in that we need to look which number is present at 51st position. How are we gonna do that? Let's find that. Where is that? So that's 507, and that's it. You got the median in this given population. So let's summarize it quickly. So first thing which you're gonna do is sort the data, take count, add 1 to the count. Whatever you got, just divide it by 2, and whatever value you get, look for a value in that given population on that position, whatever quadrant you got. So this is how you're gonna get median if the given population has odd number of elements. Now let's focus at the second segment, which is even number of elements. When you have even number of elements, so we already took the count. Now we're gonna divide it by 2. So whatever quadrant we get, 50, right? So let's try on this position. Let's treat it as position. So on 50th position, we need to look for a number in this given population. What is that number? It's 503. We get that. Now the second number which we need to take is whatever quadrant we got over here plus 1. So here we got 50, and then just add 1. Then you will get the position number, which is 51st. And then you need to look for the number at 51st position, which we are getting 507 over here. Now that's it. Just add these two numbers together and divide it by 2, and whatever number you get, that's the median of even number of elements. Let's summarize it together. When you have even number of elements, just sort the data, take count, divide it by 2. Whatever value you get, pick the position available at that position, pick the value available at that position, and then you add 1 on whatever quadrant you had got, and pick another number available at this position, 50 plus 1, which is 507, which is available at 51st position, and then whatever value you get, just sum them up together, divide it by 2, and you got the median. So this is how you can find the median. This was the technical thing. What is the practical use in our life, right? So if you remember, we created one video where we tried to cover the story with the help of arithmetic mean, or you can say we explained arithmetic mean with the help of storytelling, right? This is the video. If you have not seen this, just go to the YouTube and search for this thing, right? You will get that video. In that, Mr. Learnerea suggested that with the help of mean, we can find the city where we need to offer the rewards, and with the help of mean, he was able to identify Mumbai, and his boss was very happy. But let's have a look at data. So here is the data on which Mr. Learnerea performed the analysis, and when he summarized this, he took count and mean. Basis on that, he found that Mumbai is the city where customers has done on an average less amount of transaction, right? So if you see among these given cities, Mumbai has lesser transaction amount by each customer, which is 19,462. So to understand median, we have just tweaked the data a little bit. Anyway, that's not our point. Looking at the transaction amount, that's not our point. The point is, let's consider boss or company goes with the suggestion whatever Mr. Learnerea has given, and they decide to give the 10% of cashback. So the cashback which will be given is this. So this is for all the cities. Here in our context, we're gonna focus only on Mumbai, right? So let's try to take a sum of cashback. So here if you see, So here we have taken the sum of transaction amount and the cashback, and now if you notice, if we go by mean, then we end up giving the cashback highest among all the cities. So that's again a context, again a problem. So what we're gonna do is Mr. Learnerea should summarize the data and he should focus on median as well. He should look at median as well. So when you see at the median, you see that the median is 30,000. That means in Mumbai city, 50% of the customers are doing transaction of greater than 30,000 rupee. Here if you see, 50% of the transactions, 50% of the customers are doing the transaction of greater than 30,000 rupee, 50% of the customers, right? So if you give the 10% cashback to all those customers, it's not going to add much value to the company, because the customers who are doing lesser, they are getting just this much of cashback, which is not going to add any value, right? So that's how it can turn out to be a bad decision. Let's see how can we do this in Python. Well, here we are in Python. If you want to find median of a given data set or maybe given series, so what you can do is, that's a simple step which you can do cpd and then the variable on which you want to perform the aggregation or maybe whatever you say. So and you can just simply say median and you can find it. Here you go. So in this, and if you want to separate it, if you want to see it for each of these city, so what you're going to do is you can just say group by cpd dot group by, and in the bracket you just provide city, sorry, there is no variable called city, and here we're gonna say tran amount 2 dot, we can say aggregative functions, and in that we can just say median. Let's see if this work. Oh, it just worked. Here we got the median. All right, now this is how you can find the median, but this is not a way to present the data to anyone, right? So for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it very presentable, and this is the syntax which we're gonna use to create a box plot, right? And you can just create a box plot over here. Now you can take this visual to your boss and you can present this. Let's go to your boss and present this thing. So here we are. Now again, Mr. Learnerea is available over here. Now what you're gonna do is, he is saying, hold on boss. Now if you see with the if we look at mean, then we end up finding 19,000 in Mumbai every transaction amount. But if you look at the median, so it's 30,000 rupee. That means 50% of the customers are doing transaction greater than 30,000 rupee. So that's how we can utilize median in our practical life to get another perspective on the data after finding the mean. Thank you very much for watching the video. I just hope that it was a value add and you liked it. Just in case if you have any question or doubt, just don't hesitate to put that in the comment section. I know it has become a little bigger, but that's fine. Just let's enjoy it. Okay, thank you very much once again. Wish you